Add one. We're at 100. Let's go.
Baby, I see you hanging with your friends, chilling, day and night for days on end. Now you can't come see me tonight. Say you ain't got the time. I'm the last one you prioritize. Keeping your IG pictures on my phone. I won't spend another night at home. Okay, I'ma just be on my way. You'll see I'm not the one you take for granted, babe. I know that life can be busy, love, but you make time for the ones you love. It's only right, it's what I deserve. Love, tell me what you've done for me, done for me, done for me, done for me lately. Did your mind go on vacation, leaving your affection for me at home? Tell me what you've done for me, done for me, done for me, done for me lately. Where's your heart and your attention? Where's the kind of love that I used to know? Baby, so can you take me on a date? The simple things you do to make me stay. Now it's like you don't even try. I used to wonder why, but now I'm left with no more tears to cry. I know that life can be busy, love, but you make time for the ones you love. It's only right, it's what I deserve. Love, tell me what you've done for me, done for me, done for me, done for me lately. Did your mind go on vacation, leaving your affection for me at home? Tell me what you've done for me, done for me, done for me, done for me lately. Where's your heart and your attention? Where's the kind of love that I used to know? If you want me the way I want you, put your all into all that you do. It's only right, it's what I deserve. Love, tell me what you've done for me, done for me, done for me, done for me lately. Did your mind go on vacation, leaving your affection for me at home? Tell me what you've done for me, done for me, done for me, done for me lately. Where's your heart and your attention? Where's the kind of love that I used to know?
Well, hello and welcome to the Tequila Hour. And yes, we are at the 100th episode. I can't speak. 100th episode today. Yeah. Thank you. I know. First of all, letting you know that I will be attempting to use every smash pad on my Rode Procaster 2 in this episode. You might be like, Amanda, you're fucked. You know what? I say, fuck off. No, Rode hasn't sponsored me yet. Girl can dream. What have I got to say? I don't know what to say. Let's introduce it. So it is Sunday here in Australia. It is 4:18 p.m. It is the 6th of April 2025. This is the Tequila Hour. My name is Amanda, by the way. And this is my 100th episode. Yes, there might be ridiculously usage of, I can't speak, ridiculous usage of my smash pads. I don't care. You know why?
If you would like to leave a message, press 1.
Because I like my Rode. Procaster 2. Let's just get into it. first of all, may I say, whilst I sit here in New South Wales in the secret location, which I've told you where the secret location is, but I'm not telling you again. So for those who know me, you know where the secret location is in Australia, New South Wales. Shall I narrow it down? No, I won't. I'll keep the mystery in my mind. Yes, 100th episode today.
Your call is very important to us. Please hold.
Like I said,
Your password is incorrect.
I'm going to use every smash pad. Fuck it. It might even go with what I'm saying, but I'm going with it. Yes, I need to come down. Let me have a quick sip of my drink. Drink break. I am drinking a single malt Japanese whiskey with Diet Pepsi today. I don't have a Monster. Who the fuck am I? Had an energy drink earlier, so I think I've got enough energy because clearly I can't speak clearly. Probably because, I don't know, I'm excited and it's raining. Or is it? No, it's not raining. Not raining at all. It's just my road, Procaster 2. And like I said, I'm going to celebrate the beauty that is the road Procaster 2. Okay, that's enough. First of all, shall we just do some motherfucking admin? That's right, bitches. If you haven't been playing along, today is the 100th episode of the Tequila Hour. Again, I'll introduce you to myself. My name is Amanda. I am your host, the one and only who does this podcast. And you know what? Yeah, that's all I've got. Have I had a guest on yet? No. Was I thinking about having a guest for my 100th episode? Yes. Did that happen? Clearly no. I know. It didn't happen, but you know what? That's okay. It truly is okay. As I reminisce and think about a train crossing the tracks. No. You know what? I'm fucking proud of myself. Yes, no one else might be, but I fucking am. I did this. I made this. I should record that. I made this. I did. I made this podcast. Is it the best podcast in the world? No. Should it be? No. But you know what it is? It's my creation. It's my voice. And one day it might be number one on the Spotify charts. Maybe. It might be. Myself and Mel Robbins might have dinner one time and laugh about this episode right now. I'd be like, bitch, what were you doing? And I'm like, bitch, I was just living my best life. And, you know, that's what I'm trying to do. So let's start with some admin first. First of all, yes, this truly is the 100th episode. This podcast, as in the Tequila Hour podcast, has been in creation for 3 years now. This is the 100th. So do some maths, do some quick maths. My first episode was on January the 28th, 2022, the day after my birthday. Now, first of all, let's think about this. I know the episode without listening to it because I had previously done a fitness challenge with I know who he is, Joseph Mansell, but I can't think of the actual name of their website. Anyway, it'll come to me. Yes, I don't know where the idea in its entirety came from or came through or whatever you want to say. Why was I so inclined to do a podcast? I listen to podcasts. Well, actually, I watch them on YouTube and I dabbled in YouTube and I love YouTube and I might go back to it one day. I love doing videos and things like that. I must say that I wasn't that comfortable on camera, even though I didn't mind it. I did enjoy the whole editing part, even though it was very frustrating. If I was to do it again, probably because of my, I don't know, perfectionism, I'd want to have a super camera and I don't know, I'd love to do it in a studio setting and just really have a crack if I was to go down that route. And that might happen one day. I truly don't know. But for some reason, I deviated from doing YouTube videos and decided to do a podcast. And I think reminiscing on that wonderful time back in 2022, the day after my birthday, I was just like, why not? I really liked the idea of just talking and communicating, and I don't know, and it is still exciting to me that, I have a microphone at my home, and which is at the secret location. Weird. And, I've got a Rode Procaster too, and, I can create this audio experience. And I've realised, with a couple of podcasts that I've done in Sydney as well, that whilst I've been at the Hilton, I think I've done one. Have I done one at the Fullerton? What am I doing, girl? I seriously, yes. 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 Oh, imagine if I did one at a ghost place. Anyway. Yes, I seriously need to do one at the Fullerton Hotel because I don't think I have yet. Or have I? I don't know. I don't think I have. Now I'm questioning my life. I think I've done a couple at the Hilton. I haven't done an episode or recorded an episode at the Fullerton Hotel, Sydney. This is what I'm talking about. Love going there. I need to do that. And because I'm not recording this as in visually, yes, I'm using hand gestures to remind myself in the background to remember to do a podcast from the Fullerton. Anywho, I remember just thinking, why not? I thought the whole concept that you could create your own podcast using a platform. I use Audacity. I did use Adobe Professional. I do use that at work. Adobe Audition, which I tried, and to be honest, if I was a bit more fancy schmancy and took my time, I probably would use that. I just found it really complicated. I just need simple and easy, breezy cover girl shit. And that's what I'm using, and I'm happy with that. Luckily, I have a decent enough microphone, which is a Rode Podcaster microphone. Yes, I've used a couple of different ones. Love them. Well, there was one I didn't really love, but it's pretty good. So, mate, anyone could do a podcast. If you're interested in doing a podcast yourself, just have a crack. Doesn't matter. Really, you'll either have a lot of people listen to you or you'll have no one at all. And does that really matter? Is that the reason why you're doing a podcast? I suppose that means you need to work out your reason why you're doing it in the first instance. But for me, I am a creative person. I have lots and lots of ideas running through my mind at any given time, and I just like the idea of communication, which I'm very big on. And even though I'm probably like what do you call it? Something in a riddle. I can't think of the word, the saying, but yeah, I a lot appreciate the art of communication. And I think I even did a podcast. I can't even remember what it was called, and I probably should look at it, about words, because I know the art of speaking and vocabulary and just having a decent conversation with someone really is a dying art, in my opinion. So anyone who can have a bit of wit and, pull out of their ass a real descriptive word and own it, mate, we're friends. Truly. So yeah, I just love the format and the art of a podcast. I think it's brilliant. So there has been a couple of podcasts that I did record audio and visually as well. And to be honest, there was a period of time, and I suppose with YouTube as well, where it's like, if you want to become successful and you want to be on YouTube and you want to do this, and have a podcast, you need to record it visually as well. And, one day, I'm not going to say I'm completely ignoring or decided against it in its entirety, but I will say that at the moment and for a period of time, I feel more comfortable with just my voice and what that is. So that's what I'm going with. What other button can we? Oh, this is a good one. I'll have a quick sip of my drink. What do you think of this? This is cool, eh? Fucking cool. Okay, that's enough. That's enough. I don't know. What else have we got on here? We've got lots of songs. We've got some songs. We've got some... This is funny. Oh, that's a good one. Oh, that's a good one. Oh, dude. That's a good one. That's a good one. Oh, Merry Christmas to you too. Yeah, that's a good one too. Rewind. Yes. So, I don't know. I don't know what 100 episodes are supposed to feel like. I am proud of myself that I've still continued to do this podcast, even though at some periods, if you, like I said, do quick math, over 3 years, that's not a lot of podcasts. There has been gaps in time for many reasons. And I'm really at the moment just trying to focus on doing at least one podcast a week and staying to that schedule, which I am doing after my little hiatus to Japan, that is. Moving forward, I still do want to have a guest on the podcast. I'm thinking at the moment my comfortability would be once a month to have a guest on my podcast, and then it might move into once a week or with me a guest every week. I don't know, but at the moment this podcast truly is just a place for me to download a lot of thoughts that are in my mind, to share with you my experiences in life. May that be around some of the things that truly do give me life, which is, my passions is about being creative. It's about skincare and beauty. It's about my spiritual journey. It's about mental health. It's about lots of things. It's about trees because I'm looking at trees. If you didn't know the secret location where I am, my desk and my work desk, because sometimes I do work from home during the week, the view is a glorious view of gum trees in Australia. So that's why sometimes I reference trees if you haven't worked that out already. So yeah, where's this podcast going? I don't know. I like to plan, but at the same time, I don't. I like to be open-ended. I would say to you, if I wanted to have an award-winning or popular or commercially viable podcast, then I would need to get my shit together and do a lot more around that. May that be advertising, that would be the formatting of this podcast, that would be probably recording it visually as well, that would be doing more podcasts during the week, not just one. So, yeah, they're conversations that are still open-ended and I'm not quite sure about. I'll say to you that I'll often get distracted by the minutiae of my life. May that be, one day I want to move to Japan and the next day I want to move to, I was going to say China, but I'm not moving to China. I'm talking about my ass now. I don't know. Next day I want to be a hairdresser. Again, I don't want to be. Now I'm just saying shit for the sake of saying shit. No, I don't want to be a hairdresser. But what I'm trying to say to you is that my how do you say it? My operational moderatus? No. I don't know whatever the saying is. My, rhyme and reason for shit, that's probably an easier way to say it, is I'm fluid, mate. As a wise man once said to me, and that wise man being Mark Vail, that, yes, it's fluid. changes all the time, mate. So, yeah, I'm trying to embrace that shit. I probably embrace it more than necessary in times of my life, depending on what I want to do and what I want to achieve. I know that a lot has changed in the last 3 years. Let me have a quick sip of my drink and let me just hit you with a glorious smash pad here. Which one can I choose? This one. Smash it with that. Oh, that was nice. That was beautiful. Yeah, it will be a project that will continue. The project being the Tequila Hour, my podcast. You know, I'm not a social media queen. Yes, I use Canva and I do stories and shit like that. The whole thing about that really, I do like, I don't know, the visual arts in that sense, but really it's not my forte and something that I'm really not interested in, to be honest. The podcast itself, the audio side, just talking is certainly up my alley. So that's, you know, moving forward where, you know, if I was to become successful, all that promotional shit or bullshit, because that's really what it feels like, to be honest, I'd probably give to someone else because I'm not really that interested in it. What I'm interested in is speaking my truth and having a conversation and letting you into my world and seeing what that looks like as we progress through the world together through its many changes that are happening quite quickly. So for me, yes, let's talk about the week that was and then let's talk about the future that will be. First of all, I'm going to quickly stop it there and make another drink. Drink break. I'll be back. And I'm back. Made my drink. Like I said, I was, still am, drinking a smoky single malt whiskey. I will add it to the description of this podcast. I'm drinking it with Pepsi. I did start drinking it with, is it soda water or mineral water? Like a highball. I wasn't feeling it. It's too smoky. So I went to Pepsi because I needed the Pepsi Max vanilla because I needed a bit of sweetness. Anyway, now you know what you're drinking, what I'm drinking, what you're drinking, what you should be drinking. No. If you don't have a drink, grab a drink. Look, this could get messy today. This is the 100th episode. I might start sculling nips of whiskey and fuck it. See what happens. You know what? That could happen. Because this is my motherfucking podcast and I can do whatever I want. No, let me get back to, yes, that is yes, by the way, not no. Let me get back to what I was saying. Planning. So, you know, I am an enigma wrapped in a riddle. Weird. In the sense of I love organisation. Okay. I love admin. Okay. So I love control. I love being in control. I also like being completely out of control. I like disorder. I like not having a plan at all, but having a plan at the same time. So it's just really an interesting dynamic that I've learnt to live with. So for me, moving into, okay, what do I want to do moving forward? Like, what are some of the things I'd like to achieve? What are the things I'd like to learn? Where I'm wanting to move forward into after really this last 3 years of this podcast and thinking about some of the podcasts that I've done and my vulnerability and mindset of some of those podcasts where if I wasn't crying, I was desperately trying to keep my shit together about some of the topics that I was talking about. A lot of it to do with me and my self-development and self-analysis around a lot of things. And I suppose that's probably one of the major reasons why I did this podcast, because it really did shape a place where I could just start talking about some of these things that were in my soul and I had to get out. And yeah, a lot of people would probably be like, fuck, why are you doing that? And sometimes I question my own sanity why I'm doing that as well. And, you know, I have on numerous occasions said that, you know, it's important to me to go to myself, well, look, having a serious conversation about X might, you know, X being whatever you want to interpret it as, that it might help one person. And in helping that one person and helping myself, hopefully it might help others and create a greater sense of community and open communication. I still believe that to this very day, and I will always believe that moving forward. I think there's a lot of people who have the same mindset as me, and as I've kind of opened myself more to seeing that in others, I do see that in people around me as well, which is very encouraging and very inspiring. So it helps me to just continue on this particular path of, you know, at times being very, very vulnerable and talking about subjects or things that have happened in my life, but even talking about some of the things that I want to do in my life as well, because, you know, most of my interactions are with people through my workplace, and I think I've touched on that. I don't have many friends, and there's a good reason for that. And though my best friend is my husband, I'm truly blessed to have that. So this is an outlet where I can share with everyone that gap that, you know, I need in my life to be able to talk about the things that inspire me or frustrate me or piss me off or I want to learn or want to grow from, etc. So, yeah, a lot has happened in the last 3 years. I truly am at a really exciting place at this 100th episode, where this year I know it's going to be a tremendous year for the ages. I don't know why. It is going to be. 2025 certainly will be the year of travel, and that I already, from one experience, is opening up a vortex into my mind as to what my future will be and what I want it to be. So I'm really excited to do more travel in my future years. And then it's also opened a space for me to go, well, this is who I am as a person, and understand that a lot more and be comfortable with that. So, you know, I really can't honestly say to you what my exact headspace was in 2022. I know I really enjoyed doing the fitness challenge when I'm talking about that first episode that I did. And I lost weight and I enjoyed the whole thing and all the rest of it. I was in a very different place at that time, I must say. And yeah, a lot has happened for me in regards to self-development and personal growth. So I truly do look forward to what that looks like moving forward and what I will learn and what I want to explore, etc. For me, it's not only just having conversations with myself and broadcasting them. It really is, you know, those segments of time where I, for whatever reason, I get an opportunity to meet some fucking awesome people in life. And, you know, may it be through one conversation or may it be through many conversations where I get to learn something about them, and more importantly, I get to learn something about myself. So I'm just going to have a quick sip of my drink and put on some, I don't know, what can I put on? That's a good one. That's a great splash pad, by the way. I really like that. This has been a very interesting week. I think in the last episode I talked about, what did I talk about? I don't know what it, look, I am not someone who tries to reminisce on previous podcasts straight up. It comes out, it's on in audio and that's it. I think I talked about looking at the, I know, I'll get there. What I talked about in the podcast episode being the goal of meaning, spirituality basically in its essence and where I'm at in that journey for myself. And it was a very, I don't know, to be honest, I don't know if it's because I've been thinking too much, and I do this sometimes, where it's not even overanalyzation, it's just that my brain has been thinking too much. And it hurts. It honestly, it's like having a dull headache through self-reflection, which is weird. And I felt flat, to be honest, for most of the week. I wouldn't say I was depressed. Was I depressed? No, I wasn't depressed. I felt flat. I just felt flat. I felt like, I was going to say I felt like I was underwater, but that's hard to describe. I don't know. It's like how I'm trying to describe it so you understand what I'm saying. If it wasn't like I felt a bit dusty, which I could have been because I do need to get my shit tighter around going to bed and getting up because I'm still like, in my mind in Japan. No, that, yes, there was a sense of dissociation in a way. It's kind of like it's not even going through the motions. It's just this sense of, it's loss actually. I think that's a sense of loss. Maybe it was because I was coming down from the high that was the travel to Japan, or the high of some of the goals that I really are now acknowledging, and then going to the harsh light of reality and the nightclub lights are on and I'm still in the same place in a way that I think I am, but at the same time I'm not. So it's quite a strange feeling. And I suppose because I'm a lot more conscious of what those feelings are and what I do want to do moving forward, I am in a really strange, I don't want to say awkward, but I am in a conundrum of what I want to do. And I'm really am trying to be fluid and be open and be receptive and go with the flow and see what happens. At the same time, simultaneously, thank you, that, I just want to move forward. I need to be gone. I need to move forward. So it is a challenging space, and I knew it would be, and I've been in this space before, but it's a really challenging space now. So I'm really now at the point where after this week, really questioning my life choices and thinking, well, how do I deal with this? How do I deal with these thoughts that I'm having at the moment? And because it affects a lot. And really, I just want to concentrate on the positivity, I'll spit it out, of what I want to do in my life, which is travel. Clearly, I want to travel more. I want to go back to Japan. I want to move to Japan. I don't understand that in its entirety. I don't know what that looks like. So there's a big chasm there. I want to learn Japanese. I want to learn remedial massage. I want to be a Reiki master. I want to do this podcast. There's so much stuff that like it's just coming out that, there's the wants and a deep-seated need for some of those things that I've just expressed. But there's also the harsh reality, like I said, the nightclub lights are on and, you need to work and this is what your current work situation is and this is what your current work situation looks like and this is the dynamics that you're dealing with and how do you deal with that. And then, to be honest, it was a week that I was in a disassociative state That might have sounded weird then, but yes, I did feel flat and I felt sad and loss in a way. And then something happened, and I'm not going to go into it, but to say to you, it's really just, I don't know, if it's like you're wandering down a path and you suddenly, you know, you run into a fucking hard object like a pole and you fucking, you snapped back into reality and you're like, fuck me. That's what happened. And did I want it to happen? Do I want to know? No. I didn't want it to happen. It is something that I not anticipated in its entirety, but wasn't out of my realm of consciousness, may I say that. And it did explain a lot of things to me, but in then saying that, it also then opened another door to go, well, that's not okay. So, yeah, it's been one of those weeks, and now where I'm sitting here and it's Sunday and I'm really, again, I've had to like mentally switch my mind off because, again, I felt like I was getting into that loop, which I tend to do when I tend to ruminate on certain things and I get into a mental loop. And it, like I said, there was periods where near the end of the week I literally had a headache from it because I was thinking too much, and I was like, I need to stop doing that, and I couldn't stop. And then what is my coping mechanisms to stop? And I'm now at a point where, and I've said this, how much more do I put up with? Where do I just call it? And that scares the shit. Scares the shit out of me, because it means then I'm going to have to make a radical choice. I've already made a choice, but I mean a radical choice in the sense of, I'm not going to say it. But yeah, it involves a radical decision that I don't know, which I know I could do because I've done it before, but truly scares the shit out of me in a sense. So maybe that's the reason why I need to do it. Or just trust that whatever is coming my way will come, and I'll be okay in the end. I don't know. Smash pads. And I'm back. Last week, I'm pretty sure on my podcast, I said I was going to talk about either Tripadil or I was going to talk about Japanese makeup and skincare. Went entirely off the schedule, as you can tell. Yeah, I just needed to do a brain dump, I think. And I will say to you though, after Thursday, because I was not in a tailspin, but I was in a certain frame of mind on Thursday. And then to then experience Friday and then the weekend. And I can say to you on Sunday that I'm ready to call it. I'm ready to call it. And I don't know what that's going to mean, and I don't know what to do really. It's hard because there's things that I want to do in regards to travel, which if you didn't know, I'm going to when is it? August? The 3rd of August. Let me just check that because I keep getting confused. I don't know why I keep getting confused on this. Probably because here we go. Yes, it is. Fool. 3rd of August, I'm going to Bali, and then I'm going to Japan in November. So there's certain things that financially I need to just carry on, as they say, the British say. At the same time, how long do you carry on? This is the thing. This is the conundrum I am currently experiencing. So I do know that I don't want to be in the mindset that I was in and on this week, because it does not serve me at all and actually makes it a lot worse. So it also means then I'm going to have to outsource other things to then clear my mind so I can just get through this shit. So be outside more, meditation. I think I need to start going for a walk, things like that, just to clear my mind, because otherwise, not that I'll explode, but I know that I won't be at my best and what I can feel comfortable in. So, yeah, I need to kind of focus on those things just to get through it, basically. And, yes, I'm being very cryptic, so just read into it as you will. Yeah, so there's that's happening at the moment. And then it's really where I'm very mindful of, taking the opportunity to really harness what I want to do moving forward. And I don't know if it's because, the time is nigh and, I suddenly have a creative openness and going, well, I can do this, because I really have had a mind shift personally around my own self-worth, that it's like I'm ready, but now I'm, in a holding pattern. And to be comfortable in the holding pattern, I'm really finding quite difficult actually. And that's probably, like that for a particular reason and a lesson that needs to be learnt within that. But I really, and like I said, I wanted to try and stop saying but I keep using it, that, yeah, I need to learn that comfortability in uncomfortableness. I'll spit it out. And where am I heading and what do I want to do? And just, it's okay. It's okay. You don't have to achieve the moon or go to the moon. You could achieve just setting someone else to go up to the moon and see them on the moon, and that's okay. You know what I mean? It's. I know this sounds ridiculous, but there's times where I often think to myself that I'm the kind of person who inspires ideas and, or inspires a vision or a plan, and may not necessarily know the plan or have the plan, but inspires a plan and then drops the mic and goes, well, there's your nugget, do with it with what you will. And I truly believe that, in a sense, that, now I sound like a wanker, that, yeah, there's that level of just inspiration. And like I always think of the movie Xanadu. I don't know if you've seen it. Olivia Newton-John, who's no longer with us, unfortunately. Xanadu, which is a movie I saw, I don't know, I can't really recall the first time I saw it, but I remember loving it. And, to me, Olivia Newton-John was and will always be stunning, beautiful person. And she had blonde hair, and I just thought she was beautiful. And I just remember watching that movie, and, yeah, it was just – and she was a muse, basically. She was a muse in the movie. And, yeah, I often think about that, because I often will come up with these and there's stuff that I know that, if we talk about inspiration, that I know I have to sort out. For some reason, I know it's on me to sort out. So I haven't shared it so far, or thus far. But there's other things where I have, I'll come up with something and I'll share it, and someone will go, that's a great idea. And yeah, I'm like, yeah, you can have that one. And I'm happy to do that. So, yeah, it's something that I don't know where it comes from, and it's just an idea and it comes out, and maybe I think it's to do with a lot of people have a lot of ideas and they might think they're stupid or something, or they're silly, or they might have already been created. I don't know. I often think there's people have a shit ton of ideas in their minds, and they're afraid to say what they are. So they never speak them, and, someone else does it. And it's not even about, I suppose a lot of people think having an idea and speaking out loud and, I don't know, may it be an object or something, or that they feel that they don't have the skill to create it, or they don't have the know-how or the financial means to make it, but that basically stops them from speaking it, where I'm just like, yeah, here you go. Here's an idea, go with it. If you don't. I know personally I do have an idea when I've talked about it. I've talked about resonance, and I don't know yet how I'm going to sort this out. I do No, it will be and is a purpose that I need to sort out. I don't know. I don't know, but I will. So that's a challenge on its own when I haven't really talked about it, to be honest, and I don't really know what it looks like in line with, like I said, I wanted to create a phone app as well, and I don't even know if it will be linked with a phone app or even something greater again after watching a video that I watched today where a gentleman talked about, I'll just have a quick sip of my drink. Let me choose another smash pad while I have a sip of my, where's that long one that I can choose? Not that one. What about, and we're done. That was a quick sip of my drink. I watched a video today on YouTube about a man who had not a near-death experience, but he basically passed away, and he was officially dead, I believe, for half an hour. They had him he basically was in the back of an ambulance in a body bag, and he was declared dead, officially dead, and he recalled, an experience of of events that happened where he experienced, like a movie where there was a sequence of events that happened that, he was watching like a body in a bag in the back of an ambulance, and then finally realizing that person was him, and then experiencing, a interaction that he had with his spirit guide, and really about what the meaning of life was. And I'm summing this up quite quickly, actually. And then what he was given a glimpse of the future, and then he was in a coma for 3 days and he came back. He was also, he was in heaven as well, and what that looks like, etc. It was truly very fascinating to hear him talk about, that death experience and meeting his spirit guide and who that ended up being, which ended up being someone who was, I think it was 2 or 3 times removed grandfather, basically, and which he didn't know at the time when he experienced this death experience, but he found out later on. And that he was given a glimpse of some really powerful, moving things that he didn't really understand about his life and where he was at and what the purpose of life was, or what his purpose was anyway. And truly, it was fascinating and it was beautiful, actually. I was crying. It was really beautiful. And, a lot of people, if you're not into that, you might be like, shut up, Amanda. You're talking out of your ass. I encourage you to expand your fucking mind and maybe watch some YouTube. Yeah. Harsh. No, it was really interesting. And for me, where I've talked about, I am on a journey. And I do want to learn more, and I really do want to be more in touch with sense of self and my spiritual side and my spirit guide or guides, or my sense of intuition, etc., and what that looks like for me. It's interesting for him, his spirit guide was, I think it was his grandfather twice removed, or for me, when I've said I don't really know what that spirit is, and I talked about this in my last podcast, I don't really know what it is. And I'm not comfortable at this time to talk about what I think I might be in its entirety. But it does lead into, in a sense, when I talk about that I do have a lot to learn. And he talked about that. Which is a very interesting concept, where he said that Earth was, what was his terminology? He said Earth was Earth's school. and that we're all here to learn a lesson, whatever that might be. And it's difficult and challenging, but we truly are here to learn before we get to the other side, basically. And yeah, I've never heard anyone really describe it like that. Yeah, for many, I would say clearly for the majority of people, life is fucking challenging and really hard, and it's a struggle. And especially if you then go down the path of then trying to, be more in touch with yourself and your spiritual side and embrace that, and then just go with the flow and really listen to intuition, which is sense of self, and just follow that path. It's very hard. It's actually difficult. It's not an easy path to take. And I think, what was I going to say? It could be that often it can come across very glorified and a beautiful experience and sublime in a way, and, the glorious sunbeams flow down and you see God and you have a moment. I don't think, I know it's not that easy, and I don't pretend it to be either. I suppose for a lot of people, because life is difficult in general, that's what they want it to be. For me, yeah, I'm just at a place now where, because I've really truly opened and walked through a door in my life, to then, and I talk about the minutiae or the bullshit of life and the shit you just got to deal with on a day-to-day basis. You've got to earn money, and you have your relationships, and you have to, I know I'm making it sound tedious, but it's not, where, you're formulating those bonds with people, and it's important, and, there's a purpose for why you have people in your life. The bullshit of working and dealing with shit on a daily basis, and when you really truly just, for me, I honestly could say to you hand on heart that I could just pack it all up and just go to Japan. And I don't even know what I would do there. It might be where I just have my podcast, or it might be where, I don't know, I work in a shop or I'll work on a farm. I don't know. Where I can say to you that this life that I'm currently living in its current existence does not make me happy in any, well, it does. Now I'm being very dramatic. It could be the Scotch talking, but yes, I have an amazing life, but when I say to you that I really have acknowledged that a major component of my life, which is work, does not in any way, shape or form fulfill me at all, and then to say to yourself, well, what do I do then? What do I do? And then that's the conundrum. Which the conundrum being that you just let it all go and you move to Japan, or you stay in a place where you will be uncomfortable for a period of time until you get to a place where you can let it go. And that truly is where I'm at the moment. And I don't know, for anyone who listens to this podcast, if you've ever had these feelings, or you think that this is just bullshit, or you couldn't care less, just switch off. Truly, you shouldn't listen to this. I sincerely want to know. I don't even need to. I actually think I know my purpose. I don't need to know in its entirety what it looks like. I understand that. What I need is people who support this. And if this podcast for you is, I know, sound like I'm talking gibberish, and you're like, this is your 100th episode and this is where you've come in 3 years, and you're not feeling what I'm putting down, just fuck off. That's okay. I'm now where, mate, full force. I know where I need to go. I just have to trust and believe in where I'm heading. which is really difficult. Like I said, I like control, but at the same time, I don't like control. So it's very interesting to play that game in my mind and be comfortable with that. So, yeah, 100th episode. I don't know when I started the podcast, that is, 3 years ago, I thought about what my 100th episode would look like. I know I didn't think of that. I don't know if I even truly thought that I'd still have a podcast after 3 years. No, I don't think I did. I don't think I did actually. And there has been moments where I'm like, why am I doing this in a way? Oh, I just got a text message. That's my husband, by the way, texting me. He's saying he's having a bike ride, which he really wanted to do. I'm just going to message him back. Anyway, so yeah, I don't think I really explored having a podcast for the next 20 years. I don't think I really, and how could you really think about some of the subjects that we talk about? Because like I said, I'm a free baller. I just go with the flow and whatever I want to talk about. Like today, I really didn't know what I was going to talk about for my 100th episode. And a lot of it at the moment is, for me, being mindful of there's things that I really would like to talk about in an open space on my podcast, but I can't, and that's my choice. It's not that I couldn't. I could actually talk about it if I wanted to, but it's not the right thing to do. So I'm not. So I choose no. So I won't. So, yeah, I don't think I didn't think about having the podcast, you know, like for 20 years or something, and what that development would look like. And I can honestly say to you, I've never at any time, look, there is moments when I've thought about, it's not even about being a successful podcast and having, you know, millions of followers, etc. It's more about, there has been moments in time where I've wanted to have this podcast as truly be heard by more people for me, but also then be a source of income for me to assist with some of the things I want to do. So I don't know if that will be or will eventuate. I know from, you know, some of the people who I find inspiration from, they do the hard slog for fucking years, mate. And I know I am the kind of person who, through experience, will do the hard flogs. Oh, I will. And have. So, yeah, who knows what that's going to look like. But the future is very exciting. I will absolutely excitedly say to you that this podcast will continue. And I won't even say it'll ever end, actually. I would love, thinking about it, oh, there's a magpie. There's a magpie on our front lawn. Sorry, I got distracted by a bird. That, you know, I'm in my 90s doing a podcast. Can you imagine how fucking sick that would be? That would be fucking sick if I was doing that. But anyway, oh, and I just banged the microphone. Awkward. No, that, yeah, I'm not going to give an end date unless there was something, you know, something what I can't even think about. I don't know, I had no power. That would be the only thing that would stop this podcast, really, is not having power. Then I'd have probably buy a generator. That, wish I would have to, wouldn't I? Or a battery or something. Yes, that's what I would have to do, because you need electricity. Yes, this podcast is not going anywhere. I will need to remind myself to check in a year's time from this date and see what podcast number I'm at, number one, but to also let you all know where I'm at. So have I progressed in some of those things that I'm talking about, what I want out of life and what I want to do and where I want to move forward? I know, I can tell you that my mind space and my place and everything, my whole being as what I was as a person 3 years ago when I started this podcast is very different. So to say to you what the next year will be, or even 3 years' time, or the next 100th, so shall we say the 200th episode, what that would look like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. And how exciting is that I actually don't know. And you know what? I just want to say today in Australia, in New South Wales, in the secret location, it is, I'm looking out the window now, the sun is setting, and through the trees, it's fucking glorious, okay? The sun is filtering through the gum trees. It's fucking glorious. I don't know how, yeah, it's just beautiful. So I really do want to thank every person who's ever downloaded my podcast in the last 3 years and listened. You might have listened for 5 minutes. You might have listened for the hour or etc. Sometimes I go over an hour. Sometimes I go under. Thank you. I am grateful to those who do listen to the podcast. I do appreciate you listening and listening to my rambles. I will continue, and I look forward to seeing what that journey looks like. So I will say again, if you want to talk about any particular subject in the entire sphere of the world and you're interested in my opinion, what that is, you can contact me, segue, anytime via my email address, which is info@thetequilahour.com.au. For promotional purposes really only, I am on Instagram, which is the Tequila Hour page, and I also have my personal pages as the _1_Amanda. And I do have corresponding YouTube channels as well. Like I said, YouTube is just audio. One day I might go back to audio visual, who knows? And yeah, I don't know, who really knows in regards to what that will look like moving forward. I really think for me, audio is where it's at because it takes away, I don't know, it takes away the bias that people automatically have when you see someone. Not that I don't care what you think of what I look like, to be honest. I think it's just the element of hearing someone's voice and what that resonance is. Sorry, I'm just thinking. It is what that sound is and how that resonates with you. Sorry, I have to think. I think I've just, have I cracked it? I don't know. Anyway, thank you again. Hope you have a great weekend. What are we? In Australia, New South Wales in a secret location, we're now at 5:24. Daylight saving has unfortunately ended. So that's why the sun is setting. And, yeah, before you know it, we'll be moving into winter and all that kind of good stuff. So for those who do listen in Australia, enjoy the rest of your weekend. For those who do listen to me overseas and primarily in America, thank you for listening to my podcast. And you know what? I look forward to catching up with you all next week. See ya. Bye.
Take it away, feeling too good to me. Chilling all day, all in your space is where I wanna be. Here in this room, what did you do? I just can't get enough. Too caught up in your love. I've been trying to forget, but you won't let me. Something in my brain wants you. I've been hanging by myself, asking for help, but nothing seems to work on you. Yeah, you always make me feel like home. Yeah, you never leave my thoughts alone. Yeah, you're the reason I'm going out my mind. I just can't stop thinking about you. crave when you're away. Nights are sleepless. Do we need space? Yeah, maybe a break. Boy, you're my weakness. Give and we take, the love that we make. It's my favorite drug. Too caught up in your love. I've been trying to forget, but you won't let me. Something in my brain wants you. I've been hanging by myself, asking for help, but nothing seems to work on you. Yeah, you always make me feel like home. Yeah, you never leave my thoughts alone. Yeah, you're the reason I'm going out my mind. I just can't stop thinking about you. You got me feeling some type of way. You make me wanna stay in all day. You're the reason I can't get out my head. I just can't stop